I refuse to be programmed. That's the thing. I'm not here to be programmed by anybody. Not by the government, not by religion, not by my friends, not by my enemies, which I don't have too many enemies. But, you got to be yourself. The opposite of being yourself is being a program. Following a program. Doing things to be, doing something just to get rewards. Doing things just to get rewarded, just to get pat on the back. Have people tell you what a good person you are. As I make these videos, people give me nice compliments, and every so often I get something negative, but basically I get a lot of positive things. And but I speak my mind, and I think that's what people appreciate, is that I speak my mind, even if I say things that my subscribers don't agree with. People still appreciate the fact that I do speak my mind, that I'm authentic in what I have to say. And I think that's what's important. I think you have to be authentic. You have to be genuine and real and honest in what you say, and not just say things just to please the crowd. I think I've always been the kind of person who just spoke my mind. And, sometimes it gets me in trouble. But I think that's what you got to do in life. You got to say what you think. You got to say what you believe. I speak out a lot about religion because, to me, religion is important. And it's something that I really like religion. I think it's beautiful. But I think a lot of people do a lot of very ugly things with it. I think people use it as like mind control stuff. They use it as a way of manipulating crowds of people. I mean, you can manipulate entire nations with religion. And I don't think the solution is, well, let's get rid of religion. Because I'm just going to be honest, religion is never going to go away. And one thing that can happen is that religion can change. And it has changed. And it goes through a kind of evolution, if you will. And that's what religion always will do. Who knows what people are going to believe 100 years from now. But I believe that whatever it is going to be better than what people believe now. I think people are going to be more tolerant. I think that has to be. I think that now when you think of religion, people don't preach. There are not as many people, I should say it that way, who preach the hellfire type of religion that used to be preached a long time ago. I mean, that was a big deal years ago. Now that's people a little bit more gentle about it. I think that for me, and I can't speak for other people, but having a spiritual side to me, having faith to me is very important. But I think you have to also temper that with rational thinking. I think that combination, that balance has to be there. The spiritual nature is important. It's interesting that Abraham Maslow talked about that side of us. And I think it's best that people read his books and not just simply take whatever I'm saying. There's a book he wrote called Religion, Values, and Peak Experiences. It's a very thin book. It's not that thick. It's probably not even 100 pages altogether. But it's one of my favorite books. I love to read that, especially when he talks about peak experiences. And Abraham Maslow himself was an atheist. He didn't believe in God. But he talked about the importance of these things. That there is a spiritual side. I mean, even if you're not religious in the formal sense of it. And I think in the formal sense of it, I'm probably not religious. I mean, I don't attend church. I don't go to church. I don't run around reading from the Bible every day and telling people, oh, you're going to go to hell if you don't do this. It's just a side of my life that I like and it works for me. And I think if something works for you, you think you got to go with that. I think you have to go with that. But I think you also have to balance that and be rational. I don't think that being religious automatically makes you crazy or nuts or makes you go off and do some of the horrible things that people like to say. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that, well, I shouldn't say a lot. I don't agree with some of the things that the famous four horsemen, Richard Dawkins, Daniel Dennett, Christopher Hitchens, and Sam Harris conclude, or what they're sort of suggesting. I don't agree with a lot of that, because I don't think that religion is the root of all evil, or the root of every evil act that people do. Even when people do things and claim it's religious, I don't think that's what's really at the heart of it. Because if that is the case, if religion is what's at the heart of it, there would be far more violence than there is. As much violence as there may be in the world, it would be far worse if that really were the case. I mean, if you're really thinking about this like a scientist, you just have to think about that. Things would be a lot worse. And I am not a violent person. I don't feel like I have to kill somebody because I believe in God, Like, I believe in God. Let me go grab my baseball bat and go upside someone's head because I just believe in God. Pop. I don't believe in that. I don't do that. I don't think it works that way. But I know that there are people who get crazy. And I've been around people who are very nutty when it comes to religious stuff. And there are people who live in a fantasy world where they're waiting for God to fix everything. They let themselves get sick. They won't go to the hospital because, God is going to heal me of this illness. Yeah, but you need medical treatment. Come on and get some medical treatment. Well, no, if you believe in God, as somebody once told me, that, God can cure diabetes. Well, maybe he can. But, in the meantime, I'm going to go to the doctor, and I'm going to take insulin, and I'm going to do what the doctors tell me to do. I'm going to follow the regimen of treatment that I'm going through. I can still have faith in God and still do what I'm doing. So, that's what I really have to say. I do want to point out something. In all my videos, I'm really not out to bash religion. That's never been my goal. I'm not out to bash religion. And I'm not out to make fun of believers or tell people that they're silly or crazy for believing in God. I don't think that's crazy. I believe in God, and I don't think I'm crazy. But, that's what I have to say. That's my point. That's all.